and welcome to the InGeneral podcast, the Jurassic Outpost podcast. My name is Caleb. This is episode 152, and today I am joined by Double D, Derek Davis, and Jaden. How are y'all doing?
Woo! Saturday morning, long weekend vibes, WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
I'm living.
Lots of Jurassic Easter eggs happening this weekend, right? So.
I'm gonna say it now that WrestleMania will have a Jurassic World Rebirth TV spot.
That'd be awesome. Is it on NBC?
Yep. No, it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I'm just throwing it out there just because I like throwing stupid predictions out there and then feeling really sad about them.
I mean, it's a good advertising opportunity. Probably Netflix had those Christmas Day football games too, so and I think there were lots of movie trailers and stuff with that. So have there?
Yeah, I think Sonic played there and stuff like that as well. So
yeah,
they were promoting the Minecraft movie on some Monday Night Raws, which is exclusively streamed on Netflix. So they have done movie stuff
cool.
during the Netflix streams. But I'm just saying because WrestleMania 2-day Easter long weekend 2-day event, big celebrities are going to be there. It's going to be massive. So
yeah.
It's a big eyeball opportunity for Universal if they want to do it. But
well, before I move on with what I was about to say, I'm just going to say chicken jockey. And
chicken jockey.
So are there more of these Netflix broadcasting events as we go through May and June and towards Rebirth?
Yeah, you'll probably get SummerSlam because I'll be on Netflix as well, and that's another mini WrestleMania for WWE. But yeah, that's I don't know if it will be after or before Rebirth because I don't know when they've put dates out for that. So yeah,
I mean we're coming up on in a couple weeks from now we're going to be 2 months out from this movie. So that's kind of crazy. So
what's even crazier? In a couple of weeks, it's going to be May, and it's going to be 1 month until Jurassic June.
Yes, it's going to be
10-year anniversary.
May. Yes.
Yeah, 10-year anniversary of Jurassic World.
Yes.
Nothing's happening.
JP25. What are we calling this one? JW10? Is that
I guess so,
the shorthand?
J-Dubs 10. J-Dubs 10.
Yeah, it's crazy that there's really not anything happening, it's nothing going on officially or unofficially, it seems like.
We have, when I say we, I suppose I mean the community fans have heard nothing as far as pomp and circumstance around the Jurassic World 10th anniversary that's coming up in about 8 weeks, a couple months from now.
Oh, now you're really stressing me out because nothing's happening. And I know I was saying this before we started, but Muzz on Twitter, I'm pretty sure he was saying that he asked his local movie theater if they play Jurassic World in cinemas, but they said no because Rebirth's a month after. So even little things like a re-release of Jurassic World in cinemas, it's looking a bit how you going.
You would think they would want the synergy of having any of the previous movies be back in theaters before the new movie comes out.
Yeah, I think they would. Obviously, it's a huge marketing opportunity. Anything you do this summer, and you could say that people show up to whatever you're doing, whether it's re-releasing Jurassic World or an event or whatever. Both of which I think they should do. But people show up to those things, and you have banners hanging up, and you have the trailer playing on screens, and you say, "Oh, by the way, we have another Jurassic movie coming out in a month. You should go see it." It's nothing but another opportunity to get more people.
It'd be really sick because last year I went to the 15th anniversary for Coraline in the cinemas, and they did a lot of cool things at the end of the movie and before the movie they were showing the up and coming projects, all that stuff. It'd be really cool even to promote Rebirth and just to celebrate the 10-year anniversary if they showed an exclusive scene or like a exclusive look at Rebirth
Yeah.
for Jurassic World, like going to see it in cinemas, like for the 10th anniversary, and you also get an exclusive new look
At Jurassic World
Rebirth. Yeah, like that would be perfect.
They
like perfect marketing.
Double D. They did that. They did that at JP25. Did they not? They did a similar thing.
Oh yeah, the JP25 experience. I don't know why they haven't done anything quite like this since. There was Generation Jurassic that happened before Dominion came out, but but JP25 it was awesome because it was just like, you know, the 25th anniversary of Jurassic Park event at Universal Studios Hollywood for 3 whole days, and it was like sold out each day. It was nuts. And part of that whole experience was watching a early clip from Fallen Kingdom at Universal City Walk, and it was the opening of the movie basically. So we all got to see that, I think, a good month or two before the movie came out. It was just like a real nice, fun experience for the fans, and it got people even more excited for Fallen Kingdom. It was just like a win-win, I would have thought, for everybody, especially because they sold out, meaning they made a lot of money off the events. I don't understand why that's been almost a one-time thing, except for Generation Jurassic, which you were at, Caleb, right?
Yeah, and Generation Jurassic was great, but it was a lot smaller. You know, it was, excuse me, gosh, it was a lot smaller of a thing than JP25. It was very cool. DeWanda Wise was there. It was more of a Mattel. It ended up being more of a Mattel thing, Beyond the Gates thing, which was cool. There was like showcasing all the new toys and talking about Dominion and all that stuff. But it was like a completely different thing from JP25, and like, I don't know. Those are the two things we have that we can hold and be like, we got 2 Jurassic events.
Yeah, I mean,
but
JP25 had Jeff Goldblum and Colin Trevorrow, Laura Dern. Even had like
and
Phil
that guy
Tippett,
that directed
Dennis
Jurassic
Miller.
World Rebirth was there, wasn't he? Gareth Edwards?
Yes, Gareth Edwards was there, which is insane now. Like going back and remembering that. Yeah. No, it's just
The butterfly effect.
Some Outpost folks ran into Colin Trevorrow and Jordan Vogt Roberts and Gareth Edwards at JP25, which is a story that has been shared on previous episodes of this podcast, so go find it. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe we're alone in this comment when you listen to this podcast, but like, I want them to I think we should do a Jurassic World 10th anniversary event. I think we should release it in theaters and do all of that.
Yeah,
like, y'all feel
something.
that way, right? Okay.
Yeah, I like it. Definitely deserves its flowers because, like, whatever you think about the trilogy and stuff like that, Jurassic World was the re-revival of the franchise. So you got to give it its flowers there.
After 14 years of nothing.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? So that's what you got to appreciate it in that aspect. But at the start of the year and even last year, I was like, oh yeah, surely they'll do something for Jurassic World. It's their baby. They love that IP. You know, they put it everywhere, even with the games. They don't even touch the Jurassic Park name anymore. It's all Jurassic World, Jurassic World, Jurassic World. If they don't do anything, that would genuinely surprise me because, you know, that's like their main shtick. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, Jurassic World is
time.
at the forefront. Yeah. Well, speaking of time, that's what I was kind of about to say. Was like, I was about to play devil's advocate and be like, remember how they waited until like 2 weeks before JP25 to announce anything about it?
Yeah, same with Generation Jurassic, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate and not great planning on some folks' part because it kept a lot of people from being able to go to those events. And I hope, you know, things change in the future. That's a different tangent that we're not going to go on. What I'm trying to get at is, you know, maybe they just haven't announced it yet. We know that they announce things kind of close to when they happen sometimes. So
it's kind of what they do
see,
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is very last minute the way they do stuff, but
yeah,
that's another kettle of fish for them to deal with.
But I agree, Jaden. Like, no matter how you feel about the Jurassic World movies, because, you know, opinions are across the board on those films, and that's great, you know. But without those movies, we wouldn't all be gathered talking about all of this on a podcast, probably. So
Probably.
that's something to be grateful for, I think. And I think being grateful in that way, like that to me is the best reason. Like there are a lot of reasons to have this event and do stuff, but that to me is like the best reason to do this.
Yeah, the sole reason. Yeah.
Like get fans together, like you this movie and this trilogy revived the fan base. Like bringing fans together is a good thing. So yeah.
Yeah, you think community engagement and all that would be so many brownie points for the community, but alas, we're here.
we always hold out hope for the future.
Yes.
Anyway, but like releasing a clip with Jurassic World in theaters would be really cool too, and they've done that. They've done that recently. Like they released the prologue for Dominion with Fast and Furious and other stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it'd be a good opportunity to make more people buy tickets to see Rebirth. So
maybe they're worried
maybe
if they do
someone
another
else
like
thinks that.
prologue release that it will be cut from the movie like it was in Dominion and make people mad.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that still gets me angry that they got rid of the prologue. It makes the movie so much better.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
love
yeah,
it.
totally
Right?
agree. And we're on a Jurassic highway right now, and we're like in serious danger of like taking an exit to a Dominion tangent. So I'm just
no.
gonna like grab the steering wheel very firmly. But yes, the prologue should have stayed in Dominion. But what I was gonna say was these moments from the Rebirth trailer with the people in hazmat suits and the guy in the tank with the mutant that some have assumed is sort of a inciting incident or a prologue, beginning of the movie type thing. They could what if they released that as that opening of the film or something? That'd be fun.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be good enough.
Anything. Yeah, just anything really, like just an extended look. Even like they've been teasing the river raft scene a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You may as well just like
That's
show
a
it.
great point though, because like they really have been like plugging the river raft thing in every promotion thing lately.
Yeah, everything. That's the one thing. Like besides like their cliche set like talks about, oh, this is a new way of the franchise, or like they always say the same thing in like every new article about it's a fresh take and stuff like that. Like you see the T-Rex river raft scene all the time now, like getting shoved down our throats. So you may as well just show it at this point.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, show more of
and
it.
I think like doing the river raft scene would get that would make general audiences happy because it's kind of I don't know, it's an engaging, scary scene. So
Oh yeah.
You've been talking on your channel a lot about the raft stuff, Derek. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so the lagoon / rafting sequence is one of my favorite sequences from the book that was cut from the original Jurassic Park movie. So I've been looking at everything very meticulously to be like, oh, does this mean this moment's gonna happen and etc. So in the new footage that was released in I think they called the Classic Jurassic featurette, basically online.
Yeah, let's talk about that
And-
classic Jurassic featurette.
Yeah. So, I mean, a big part of that was the lagoon sequence stuff. So I'll just cover that part of it real quick. So basically what it showed for that specific sequence was the dock, and it shows the teenage girl, I think her name is Isabella. She's going along the dock, and she has like this cube, which we didn't see before in the trailer. It's like this yellow cube, and then she like makes it inflate on the dock, which is exactly what they do in the novel and the old storyboards from the original Jurassic Park, which I showed on my channel, like in comparison kind of thing.
Nice.
Because in the original book, it's Grant that inflates the raft, on the dock, and then tries to do it quietly, so not to wake up the sleeping Rex. Because in the book, they're already aware that the T-Rex is sleeping. I'm not sure if they are in this version, and so we know we have that moment. But also what I found interesting was, Isabella is on the dock, but then the rest of her family is like on the other side of the river, I noticed. So I'm like, did they send her over to get the raft, or were they split up at some point? And then she's like, oh, let me get the raft
maybe they
first,
got
and then I'll
separated.
come get you. Yeah. So that's a little different and kind of interesting change from the book. Because in the book, they're kind of all together the whole time, basically, until like the end of the river sequence. But then also one of the more fun shots from that reel is like the raft is definitely capsized, and the little girl character, she's underneath it, and they have like this cardboard cutout of, it looks like the T-Rex. It could be another dinosaur though, we're not 100% sure, but it's kind of cute seeing this little cardboard cutout, I guess, to put the shadow on the raft for, CGI to make it, as realistic as possible, have a reference point. And
yeah, it reminded me of
happens.
The Lost World a little bit. Like
Yeah,
when they're
it was
running
very
through
Lost
that
World.
path
It's
in
like
the jungle and they have that big T-Rex on a stick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the little reference stick with a cardboard.
Yeah.
And in the book, the raft gets capsized, I believe, near the end of the sequence, because in the novel they eventually go over a waterfall, which I guess we'll see if that happens. But that's how they get capsized in that version. And then like the T-Rex goes into the water and it grabs Lex by her life preserver and like lifts her out of the water in it. I'm like, ooh, hopefully that could happen in this version with her backpack, because if you notice, she is wearing her backpack in the footage. So maybe it grabs her by the backpack and she like slips out of her backpack or something while she's in its jaws. Like that's basically what happens in the book. So I hope that happens. But
And then
it all remains to be
the
seen.
new baby dinosaur dies because it's in the backpack.
I was gonna say the backpack that she puts the Aqualops in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, yeah, it's just gonna get munched on straight away.
I hope this is pre-Aqualops. We haven't met
Yeah.
Dolores yet at this point.
And all
do
the
you think like they, because I've been drumming along like a lot since the Rebirth trailer that like, I don't know, I see a lot of like Camp Cretaceous vibes from it. Do you think like they're gonna replicate like Bumpy with how like, how Bumpy was like just a nuisance, like she wouldn't move, she wouldn't budge, and she would get them into trouble and stuff like that? Do you think we're gonna like, that's gonna be kind of like the same feel here? Like it's just gonna be a stubborn dinosaur to give it character and stuff. It's gonna get them into shit.
That'd be cliche though, wouldn't it?
I don't know. There have been rumors that like it's gonna squeal when large predators get close or something.
Yeah.
But I think they're like, it seems to me like they're on a trajectory of like, this is the cute new baby dinosaur that we're gonna sell plushies.
We're gonna make millions
sell
of this.
plushies and toys.
We're gonna make a fortune with this place.
But I hope that like it works in the story really well. I mean, yeah, I trust David Kemp, I suppose, but yeah, I don't know.
Speaking, can we like, we don't have, we can skip over it, but Sam Neill getting casted in the new Godzilla and King Kong.
I wasn't sure what you were about to say. We don't need to skip over that. Let's come back to the featurette in a second. But yes, Sam Neill cast in the Godzilla Monsterverse. How do we feel about that? What do we think about that?
I've seen the community divided a bit. Like you got like obviously the happy fans and stuff like that going like, yeah, like this is sick. Like it's like, it's canon, it's crossover universes, but then other people are like, oh no, like Legendary or whatever is stealing Sam Neill from the Jurassic franchise and stuff like that. How can they?
It's not like he was gonna come back to Jurassic or anything.
That's what I was like. I was like, his story was like, it was done. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
Scarlett Johansson and everyone are gonna show up at the Rebirth Island, and Dr. Grant's just gonna be there with a long beard. Hasn't cut his hair in years. He's just been living there since Dominion.
Yeah.
Oh god, I thought it was gonna be like, I thought you were gonna say like a scene like in Jurassic Park 3 where it's like he's just on the beach with like a megaphone. He's like, oh, that's a bad idea. Yeah, like it's the reverse of JP3.
I like, this news popped up and I was like, oh, this, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like he fits in that kind of thing. Sam Neill does. I think he's been in other sci-fi movies. He's been in other stuff. Like, he was in. His role was quite short, but he was in Invasion, this Apple TV Plus series about aliens. So like,
I saw that. I saw it like come up. I haven't watched it yet though.
I mean, the series has been out for a while, so I'll say he bites the dust pretty quickly, unfortunately.
Okay.
But it's like Sam Neill in an alien thing. Like that's some.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't expecting that necessarily, but it's perfect. So like, I think the Monsterverse works really well. My thought was like. The Jurassic fan base has talked so much about crossovers with Fast and Furious.
Oh no!
And
Don't
I
say
think no, I'm not gonna say anything bad. I promise.
We're already getting it. It's already happening. It's in motion. You know, Gareth Edwards. We're seeing it with the mutant scene.
You take those words and you grab them and you put them back.
I'm just saying,
inside.
the signs are there. Everything is falling into place. It's already in motion. You can't stop it.
What I'm saying though is. I think that if we're going to do a crossover between Jurassic and the Monsterverse makes so much more sense than a crossover with Fast and Furious. Like, I think we can at least agree on that, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. No.
It's like, oh, there's giant ones now. Anyway, I think that'll be. I'm excited to like know what his role is going to be. Like, is he going to be a scientist? Is he going to be just a person? Or like,
I would love for him to play a villain. I think.
Yeah.
I would love if he's like the new villain of like the movies and stuff like that. I don't know, or like that movie.
Can you? I'm up to date on the Monsterverse, but I'm not. I'm a little fuzzy on it. I haven't watched the series, but I've seen all the movies. Like, there was that old dude who was a villain. Is he still around? Or
he is at the he's in the series as well.
Oh, okay.
I watched this series last year. It was good. I'm trying to remember it now again.
I've heard great things about it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was really disappointed with the last King Kong Godzilla movie because I was like, okay, this series is taking it to a serious tone, and then they released that movie like. Oh, we'll just
I enjoyed that movie, but the Monsterverse has just become like banana popcorn ridiculousness.
Yeah, it's just a meme. I don't take it seriously, but that guy, like he was like, I think he's just one of those anti-hero guys. Like he's just gonna do whatever he thinks is good in his own agenda.
He was like he was trying to get monsters and use them for his own purposes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like Sam Neill as a villain in the Monsterverse would be very cool. It would it might really almost be too on the nose if he was like a scientist who was like, I know reptiles or something.
Yeah. No, I just want to see a scene when like he's in a plane and he has like a nightmare. He has like Godzilla and it's just like Ellen.
Oh, no.
Give me that. Give me that.
He would be good because like people forget he was in the third Omen movie and he basically played Satan or Satan's son. He was Damien.
Really?
So I mean, yeah.
Well, and if you'd like to watch a movie that will haunt your dreams for the rest of your life, watch Event Horizon.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah.
Because Sam Neill is in that, and not to spoil too much, but he basically loses his mind and becomes the villain of the movie. And he is terrifying. So, anyway, Monsterverse tangent.
I will say one last thing.
Yes.
I think he took I think the movies because I know Godzilla and King Kong, the last one was filmed in Queensland, and with Sam Neill's health concerns and stuff like that, Queensland's not that far away from New Zealand.
Be easy for him to film.
Very easy for him. So hopefully maybe when more stuff comes out with the shooting, I'll fly up. I'll try and get Sam Neill
cameo
to do a voiceover for like "Welcome to the Jurassic Outpost" podcast or something. I'll just like, "Hey, I'm here."
This is Sam Neill, Dr. Alan Grant. You're listening to the InGeneral podcast. And then he instead of drawing a Disney Mickey ears, he draws like a T-Rex.
Yeah. With a wand.
With his little wand,
yes.
yeah.
That's so cute.
Okay, so what did you guys think about the the featurette, the new behind the scenes featurette that was released. It was literally titled Classic Jurassic on YouTube. So what did you guys think about that?
I
You can
mean,
go first, Derek. I only just watched it. So.
oh, okay. Well, I mean, classic Jurassic, it's like we've heard this before. You know what I mean? Like when they kept like talking like, "Oh, this is giving feelings of the old Jurassic." It's like, "Yeah, I know. We've heard this with the Jurassic World movies before too, and they were sort of right for certain moments, but in a way I'm kind of surprised because it's like, is that even what people really want though? Is like classic Jurassic, or do they want new Jurassic, something new, something scarier? But it was clearly like a fluff piece, basically. Like it's definitely like, oh, make sure you read the prompt right. You know what I mean? Like it felt like it had that kind of feel to it. But as for the actual footage that we see, I thought it was very nice, especially for like the lagoon rafting stuff. It was exciting because we actually didn't even know if there was even going to be a raft for that scene until that footage came out, except for like the Lego set was the only clue that there was a raft. But then to see that it was also a yellow raft, I'm like, oh, it's Jurassic Park the ride. It's the river adventure. Synergy, like
Yeah.
it was nice to see that. But there was some other footage in there as well that was kind of interesting, right? Wasn't there like bloody water or something? Like, what'd you guys think of that?
Yeah, on the beach.
Yeah, there was that shot of most of the team. I know ScarJo, Mahershala Ali, and JB and I think Rupert Friend are in that shot. I think.
Yeah.
Whoa! Ryan Shoemate just joined this podcast.
Oh.
Out of nowhere, looking handsome.
We have a Ryan here.
I wanted to join the party.
Hello,
today.
I'm so glad you joined us. We were just talking about that Rebirth behind the scenes featurette that just came out. But in that shot with all the water, they're on the beach. There's blood on the beach, kind of in the water, and on the far left side of that shot, their boat or one of their crafts is like completely beached on top of the rocks over there. So it's interesting. And another interesting shot to me is like we've seen the shot in the trailer of Jonathan Bailey falling out of the temple and he's on the rope and it snaps. But then we've also seen like shots of him like falling into a body of water. And then in this featurette thing, we see a shot of him like crawling out of a body of water.
Yeah, like it's like a retake of him like jumping out or something like that.
So I'm wondering if like the rope, he falls out of the temple, the rope like slows down his momentum enough, and then he just like snaps and breaks free and falls the rest of the way down into that water, because that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So
did you guys already talk about what you think the blood is?
No, we're just talking about the featurette. So what did you think about the featurette? Okay. What do you think the blood is?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Because from the trailers, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people on the boat, but it's not. I don't see that as a scene where like a bunch of people necessarily die. Like there's bodies in the water, or something. I don't know, but it's like random like blots of blood.
It's like three blobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my mind was thinking that something might be there, like some sort of placeholder might be there, but I don't know. It's interesting. Like maybe in the trailer, do they have any weapons when they're running on the beach? Because my only thought is maybe shooting some dinos down on the beach.
Maybe the way I'm interpreting this is like some sort of attack happens. Like the family's not with them here, I don't think yet. Right. And so some sort of attack happens when they get to the island or something in that craft. And like maybe what we're missing is like pieces, like someone has washed up on the shore, or pieces of someone or something have washed up on the shore. Because if your boat ends up that far up on the beach, like some crazy stuff has happened, probably some chaotic things. But
maybe they're trying to fix what they did in Jurassic Park 3 when Amanda got cut by the Spinosaurus and then she just walked off like she was fine. Maybe someone's bleeding out. I don't know.
It's interesting, honestly. Like, there's we've talked about this on this podcast off and on, but like, it's with the shots and the footage we've gotten, it's kind of hard to place like what order they're all in, and how it's all going to happen. But yeah, did you like the featurette, Ryan? Did you enjoy it?
Sorry, I'm like going through. I'm going through it, scrolling through
Oh,
it
you're
right
good.
now
You're
on
good.
mute, just to like kind of just to refresh. But yeah, no, it was cool to kind of just get like a few behind the scenes shots. But I was like more interested in seeing Gareth, and because he's been so reclusive during this whole production,
Yeah.
and we haven't seen any shots of him or anything really of him doing anything. So to finally see him and see him behind the camera, and not only that, but talk about shooting on film,
Mm-hmm.
which came as no surprise. But it was, at the same time, it's so reassuring that he's trying to capture the cinematography that comes with Jurassic, and I think the classic Jurassic, but bringing his own style to it as well. I just digital is so great, I guess, in whatever format you're using it in. But I feel like with these big blockbuster, especially with ones that come back from, original film, filming standards, it goes with the territory, because as soon as you switch to digital, it's pretty obvious. Was Jurassic digital?
They've
Or sorry, Jurassic World, the last Jurassic
they've
World.
all shot on film in some combination.
That's what I thought.
And some of them have used digital elements.
Do we know if this is 100%?
I mean, every shot of filming that we saw, every shot of a camera that we saw, it was anamorphic film, and they had canisters. I I would say that every film probably has some shots that they have to replace or do whatever, or visual effects, or there'll be some. I mean, with this, there may be some shots in there that are just entirely visual effects or whatever. But like, as far as I know, it's like completely film. So yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that with the featurette, because the footage of the cast talking, the aspect ratios change in between the film footage and the interviews, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's because that anamorphic film has to be like stretched out super wide to get the whole thing, and the aspect ratio is like quite wide, and then the shots of them talking are much taller. But yeah, I think I want to, like, my favorite. You were saying that you were happy to see Gareth. I was really happy to see David Kep sitting there, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if they filmed all of these interviews in those stages at Sky Studios in the UK, because like the backgrounds behind all of the actors and David Kep and stuff when they're just sitting in a chair are like the temple or the bunker or stuff like that, and so it looks really cool. But David Kep was amazing to hear from, and how casually he's just like, yeah, Steven Spielberg called me and was like, want to do another Jurassic. So it was awesome. What other thoughts about the featurette do y'all have?
Yeah, I just watched it. I didn't have time to watch it yesterday because I just thought it was the same things that we've seen before, just a bit, just a bit more. But I generally enjoyed it. It was good seeing. I think because I watched it just before the pod started, and I think it was Jonathan Bailey in front of like a shelter when he was talking, a bunker or some sort, which I thought was pretty interesting. Because bunkers are somewhat relevant to the franchise and stuff like that, especially with the Fallen Kingdom one that's now in survival. So yeah, I don't know. Bunker news.
Bunker news.
We're so fascinated by bunkers.
Yeah.
Anytime we see one, like, oh. Oh, what
what's
does it
in
mean? Where does it go?
there?
Where does it go? Something secret.
It's like a side quest.
I think we're gonna find out. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Might go to the lab.
I almost called him Martin Krebs, but Rupert Friend is sitting there in the chair in his little clip, and he says something about how this has friendship and loyalty and betrayal of all of those things, and a task that everyone is trying to achieve, and like a really hard task. Like, what did y'all think about his words about like talking about betrayal of friendship and loyalty and all that?
Shakespearean.
And like you were saying a minute ago, Derek, there were some, like, obviously this is PR and they're trying to say good things and all that. But
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we're talking about the betrayal of the plot.
Yeah, because they haven't mentioned betrayal at all yet. Obviously, we have the pharmaceutical guy that we all assume is going to be the one doing the betrayal. I forget who someone said it in one of the pods that they think Jonathan Bailey is going to turn and be like the bad guy or something.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Jonathan Bailey, that he's going to have some ulterior motive, but
yeah, that would be fun. That would be a good plot twist. I'd be like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Did not expect that.
I don't.
But
yeah.
I'm excited that this is the first time they've mentioned betrayal. So I'm excited to see hearts break, people get eaten. It's gonna be a good time.
Betrayal confirmed.
Yeah. So speaking of people getting eaten, so there's been some like chatter on social media and Twitter and stuff of folks who saw the footage at CinemaCon or have seen apparently are speaking as if they've seen the second trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth, and they're talking about how it is really scary and brings back the scares, and like this trailer is better than one person said this trailer is even better than the first one because it leans even more into the scary stuff and does that sort of thing, like, and the featurette doesn't really do that. I would say doesn't really lean into the scary. So like, how do y'all feel when you hear that? How do you feel about more scary, bringing the scares back? If that's true.
Enough of the trailers. Just wait till the movie. I don't want to see it anymore. Personally, I'd rather them not say anything and show new things. The only thing I'd be open to them like showing if they're gonna do like like that. I just thought like this whole featurette thing was just gonna be a little bit bits and bobs of extra things, but like same shit, different smell. And that's no discredit to like the movie. I know it's gonna be good, but I just didn't think it was like gonna be worth a watch. But if this second trailer is, I just want to see the raptors. That's it. I think that's the only new thing I'd like to see. Just like the
you
raptors
said no
and
more
stuff
though.
like that.
No more footage.
Yeah, I know, but that like if it was like everyone knows what like we've seen the design of the raptors. It's out. Like just everyone knows what it looks like. Just show it.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what I mean? That's the only thing. I don't want to see them lean into the horror side or like whatever. I just want them to save it.
On that note, like, some folks were expecting the second trailer to come out already, and so like now it's kind of like, when is it gonna happen? So
WrestleMania.
Yeah, sometime soon. I hope so. Ryan, when do you think the second trailer's coming? How do you feel about more scary in the trailer?
Wait, it's June 22nd? Is that
July 2nd
is that right?
is their release date.
July 2nd.
July 2nd. Okay. I probably wouldn't expect the second trailer to drop until at least middle of May. I mean, that seems to kind of be the time frame. If it depends on the studio is going to release 2 or 3 trailers, which the trend these days is 2 strong trailers with like more teasers. Now we have the teaser to the teaser, and so it seems like there's at least 2. So the next one will probably be the final, in my opinion. And if they're going to lean scary, like. The other interesting too is we kind of live in an interesting time where, like, especially with theatrical releases, audiences are kind of finding out like, oh, I'm walking into a movie that I didn't expect was this. I'm not saying Jurassic World is going to be a musical, because that's what it tends to always fall into. It's like a trap of like, oh my God, this is a musical. I didn't know this was a musical. It wasn't advertised as such. So if they're trying to lean into the scary, they're going to have to do it with this next trailer, which maybe all rumors leading into. I'm all for it. It's just I think the scary aspect is probably mostly going to come from our mutant from the D-Rex. Not saying the other dinosaurs won't be scary. I'm kind of in opposition with you, Jaden, where I thought I really wanted to see the raptors too, and now that we've seen, at least, if you're a nerd and you've seen the promotional images and things like that, I've seen enough. And for me, I really want them to make the raptors scary again. Like Blue, to each their own. If you liked whatever, Jurassic World raptors were not scary to me at all. No. And that might be for the domesticated reason, that might be for whatever, but like that wild, ferocious, intelligent aspect that like comes with being hunted by these motherfuckers is like what I want back from Jurassic. And so I'm serious though, like I want to like be like, give me the feeling that I get when I see a xenomorph.
Yeah.
When I see it, but like it should be the same. Like I'm not saying. I don't know. I am saying. Like, the raptor should be scary. Jurassic Park's raptors were scary as fuck.
I fully agree with you.
And so let's just bring it back.
I feel all signs point to it. Honestly, do you like the raptor design that you've seen?
Oh, okay. I love it. Yeah, I think it's a cool blend between the Jurassic Park 3 raptors, some colorful aspects in the face, a little blend of the Lost World. If what I'm looking at too from like some of the promotional images, like those banners, the one where the leg is in front of ScarJo.
Oh, Cinema
That's
Compost.
Yeah, that's not a normal looking raptor leg. Like that's not like
we were talking
nicely
about that.
Toned. That's like it's got some like abscesses, kind of on the side. So if these dinosaurs really are like the, this sort of the really offside cast, like I'm kind of expecting them to look a little gnarly.
I want the island of Dr. Moreau with a bunch of screwed up things. So
failed experiments and all that jazz.
Flying raptor, if that rumor's true, like at first I was kind of like, what? But like I was like, actually, okay. Like
in this context though, like
yes, only in this context.
It's gonna be if it's true, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, like would it be
Ryan,
like leathery wings or feathers, like an Archaeopteryx kind of thing, but like a big version of that? Like that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I want to ask Ryan a quick question about like the Velociraptors comparing Jurassic World and Jurassic Park. I fully agree with you. What are your thoughts on the Atrociraptors? Have you watched Chaos Theory? Like, what are your thoughts on them? Because I prefer the Atrociraptors over the Jurassic World Raptors.
Some people say that the Atrociraptor pack is the real raptor pack of the Jurassic World franchise. I didn't say that.
I'd say that. I would agree with that. Like, especially with Chaos Theory, like they had that aura and that scare factor that, some like not as good as Jurassic Park Raptors, but better than the Jurassic World Raptors.
I like the focus on them this season.
Yeah,
and I think there was a specific line. Oh my gosh, it was between Brooklyn and either the broker or somebody. Despite their training, despite how well trained they are, they really want to kill you right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think there was some line like they really want to kill you right now, but they know.
And they were like inches. They were like inches away at the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the relationship that they have with Freakazoid.
My girl.
Ryan is talking about the handler. To be clear.
I love her. Just to be clear, I love like when she came into this last season. It was like what? This is so weird and unexpected, but like she's so weird. I
thought she was a robot the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I still think she's like part dino human or some shit.
Well, she's in the belly of a Carnotaurus now, so.
She'll come back as a JP3 scene in the poo.
I have not finished the scene. I haven't finished the scene.
Oh, Ryan, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
What?
We just spoiled
the
it.
second time we've done this.
I did it again. I did it to Alex last podcast. Oh,
Ryan, you were talking about watching the new season. I thought you knew.
Well, I should have clarified. I have not finished. I have 2 episodes
Okay, I'm
left.
sorry. I'm sorry.
And they're the two
Right.
best ones as well. I'm so
Damn.
sorry. I ruined your Easter.
Oh
You
no!
like
I was
eggs.
actually wondering. Like, I was like, I wonder what happens to her because she obviously doesn't show up and there's this tension, really building between her and the broker. And well, cool. That's good to know.
Ryan, I'm sorry.
Something to look
It's all
forward
good.
to.
It is good though. It is like the last 2 episodes are really
It's
good,
great,
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I
When I watch it, I'm gonna act so surprised, like, oh,
Did not know
I
that.
did not see
Hey, well,
that coming.
the way it happens, I really enjoyed, and it adds stakes to what's going on for what it's worth. So it's good.
Cool. I'm enjoying this season.
Sorry for spoiling you.
Yeah, I feel so
it's all
bad,
good.
dude. I feel like shit.
It's all good. I had access, like earlier this week to like finish it, but we've been traveling and just got back, and so I've kind of just been slowly catching up. But yeah. Cool.
Anyway, there's chaos theory.
Speaking of Dr. Pepper, actually to kind of like reiterate with what you were saying, Ryan, I think the time frame of the new trailer might coincide with a date that was on the Dr. Pepper website saying it says like coming soon, launching 5/15/2025. So maybe that's when a lot of the big marketing starts to happen. It also has like a really cool T-Rex like graphic on that page for anyone who's able to look at it. You can actually go to that page
And that happens when
scan
you-
the barcode
Yeah.
or QR
What
code.
a great
on
tangent,
the
by the
box.
way.
You're
I
welcome.
love Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. A great tangent.
That yes,
but
Dr.
isn't-
Pepper, Jurassic World Dr. Pepper is out there for the taking, for the buying, for the hunting, for the finding.
Not available in Australia.
So
Not for the drinking. though.
Well, but Jaden, you don't like Dr. Pepper anyway.
I hate
so-
Dr. Pepper. No, I would buy it just
What?
to. Yeah, I already got roasted in the chat earlier this week or like last week because of
Blasphemy.
it.
He's my
I was
favorite
like,
doctor.
I was like, I hate. Yeah, they're like, oh, I hate Dr. Pepper, and then Jack was like, yeah, no, I'm kicking you out. I was like, okay, great. The last pod,
do you-
guys, especially after the Minecraft.
Do you enjoy Vegemite?
Nah, I hate Vegemite.
Okay.
I've
Good.
actually
Yeah,
I've had Vegemite. I'm not Australian, but I actually liked it, so that's funny.
Yeah, no, I hate it. I hate it.
No.
What about the
They're-
Beverly?
They're
Beverly, what is that?
Yes. I think it's
What are you
I think it's from
talking
the UK or somewhere. It was at Disney World, okay? It was in that little Coca-Cola thing where you try the different drinks from around the world.
Yeah, but
or
like
whatever,
you guys
yeah.
think that Australians drink Fosters as well. No one drinks Fosters here. No, I don't even know what a Fosters is.
I
guys
totally
are-
forgot about Foster.
Like, you know,
We used to have those commercials run rampant when cable was a thing here. and dude, totally Foster's Australian.
Oh,
yeah,
I
I
know
remember
that. Yeah.
never heard of Fosters until like I started doing these pods, and I think it was like Kayla or Jack were like, "You like Fosters?" I was like, "What the fuck's a Fosters, dude?"
So you're saying American culture of other cultures is a lie.
Stereotypes.
I wouldn't say that. No.
I was gonna since we're like on an Australian tangent kick here for a second. Dishan Lockman is Australian, is she not?
Yeah, she's from Sydney.
Yeah.
You know, represent.
Can I?
She was on Home and Away on Neighbours or some shit.
Oh,
one
she's-
of those shows.
She's on Severance. She's been in so many things. She's awesome.
Oh, dude, she's killing it right now.
Well, and I was gonna introduce a little hot take, but before I do, to be clear, her performance is awesome. It's great. I think it would have been cool if she would have kept her Australian accent rather than having a different one, because like that would have.
Nah.
Well, I know how. I understand what you're feeling. I think it would have just made her unique because there's not that many other Australian characters in the Jurassic world. So like, I don't know.
I totally get that. I totally get that. But as an Australian, our accent is so unserious. Like, imagine like, oh no, Brooklyn, don't turn on. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know, I couldn't. I didn't think I could like. Oh no, Brooklyn! Don't do that. Or
Well,
like they're my Triceratops.
Well,
I couldn't. I don't know. I can't
when you
see
say
it.
it like that,
Yeah. Oh no!
it's not the
Oh
accent.
no! I can't do an Australian accent.
No.
Piper, no.
Piper, no. That's an accent I can do.
Tsunami.
Imagine like because it was what like episode like 6 of like season 3 or some shit like that where she like he's like, if you ever lay a hand on Brooklyn, oh, you know what I mean? No, I got yeah, no, I'm
Jade,
happy that she's not doing an Australian accent.
This is gold. My response is that I kind of agree with you, actually, now that you've demonstrated why you feel that way.
Yeah, no.
Because I think, like, I mean, she's not a James Bond villain, but, like, the British sort of vibe with, like, a villain like that really probably works really well. So that's probably why they went that direction.
Yeah,
but
the I accent is so stupid. Like it's not serious. You can't take an Australian accent serious. Like
Piper, no, Buddhism.
To be fair, what is that accent from White Lotus, though? We don't really know.
I mean, I would just call it a Southern accent, which I, as a
North Carolina, but there are variations.
Yeah, it's
for sure.
Did you say South Carolina, Ryan? Is that where it's from?
They have Duke.
Oh, so North Carolina.
Sure. So they're from North Carolina.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, and the Carolinas, if you watch a little show called House of Cards, the main character on that show is from South Carolina, and he has a super Southern accent. So the Carolinas have super Southern accents. Why are we talking about this on a Jurassic podcast? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's super interesting. Because we need more accents.
But yes, that is a good point.
We do need more Australians. I will say that.
I would like more Australians in the franchise.
His accent.
Yeah, true.
This whole time.
But I like.
Yeah.
No, they should.
His is like combination of Kiwi and English.
It's a nice accent though. Like that's what I hope. Like I get that. But
I love this accent.
Yeah, but I don't know. So sometimes like seeing an Australian accent, like because even like watching Australian movies, like it's just like, what are you doing? What are we doing to you? It's just So I'm against it, but
No, that's understandable. That was the Jurassic accents segment of this podcast.
Yeah. Shout out to Sam, King Kong.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah, we did talk about that. Yeah, we did. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, how do you feel about Sam Neill and the Monsterverse?
In some ways, I'm kind of like, no, because now I can't say no without no.
Sam, no.
I want him to stay in like when it comes to that sort of genre, like I feel like that's a little too close to home, and it's like nah, Sam's our boy. Like you can't like, it's like taking like borrowed IP and chopping it up and trying to do your own thing with it on the sci-fi.
So you felt like
but
you broke up with a beautiful person and then someone came and swiped them.
Well, I think after Dominion, it's like I think the legacy characters, I think that chapter is closed.
Yeah,
I really don't expect to see them again.
Yeah,
I
meant to say that earlier. Like the story of Sam Neill, Alan Grant, and the other two of the big three is pretty tied up. So I think it's not like, this is keeping him from coming back for another Jurassic or keeping him from something. So
yeah, no. I think because of that, I think especially with the forced, and I will repeat, with the forced relationship.
Ryan.
Mushing of Ellie and Grant at the end, which I'm super happy for, but it was forced.
I disagree, but I understand what you mean.
Fan service.
Yeah, after that, I'm like, okay, you could all, you could all move
They've
on.
ridden off into the sunset.
Yeah, I think I'm honestly, Sam Neill, dude, I love that man. And honestly, the Monsterverse is so fun and stupid that I honestly,
Did he?
I'll be
Did
there.
he?
It'll be so much fun to watch him in that.
Yeah, totally. It's a good time. It's ridiculous, but it's a good time. And now with Sam Neill, we will absolutely be there opening day.
Yeah, we will be there.
Did Sam Neill post that reel on Instagram with the T-Rex at his winery? Did he post that before or after the Monsterverse news? Did he post it after?
Oh, that's a good. It was the same day, right?
It might have been the same. Yeah, it might have been the same day.
But I don't know if it was like because now you're gonna have to check like the hours and stuff because it broke out.
So
it was like Thursday, wasn't it? I'm in like a day ahead of you guys, anyways.
So the Sam Neill Monsterverse news broke on Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday evening. I'm looking. We're doing all this internet sleuthing for some reason. Yeah. I'm looking to see when he posted that reel. It doesn't obviously it doesn't matter, but
we're just doing it just to find the answer.
People listening to this in their cars are like, I have to know. Please find the answer.
So he posted
red light,
he posted the reel 2 days ago. So I think it was around the same time as it was either right after or around the same time as the Monsterverse news, I think. And that might be a coincidence, but it might not. But now that I'm looking back on it, I feel like it's kind of like, I still love you, Jurassic fans.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but game's a game.
Well, yeah. Well,
money's money.
But also, something that I thought when this news popped up was man, Sam Neill is an icon and he's in demand and people want him to be and stuff. So I think that's a good thing. That's cool because he's and he's in his 60s. So
yeah, and that's what I think as well. Like with the location of the films being in Queensland and stuff like that, if they're doing that again, it's a no-brainer for him. To do it. It's only a 4-hour flight or something to Queensland for him or something. So
I bet that was part of it for sure. So
I think they know that they're luring. I mean, I think they're already luring a good chunk of Jurassic people into that audience. I think that they know that they're probably luring a lot more. I think it's really interesting to hear the debate online. Everybody's got their own opinions, of course, about if Jurassic's going to succeed or not, given the competition that it's up against within a week or two of its release. And I think just people don't realize dinosaurs are $1 billion. I will be surprised. I will be shocked if it doesn't make $1 billion.
Yeah,
and that's going to translate over into the Monsterverse simply because of Sam. I'm not saying it'll make $1 billion because of him, but there will be a influx of people who definitely migrate over there because of that.
Yeah, definitely. Because the Monsterverse movie is already big in itself. They already make a shit ton of money, but you make a good point there that a lot of people will be jumping over.
That's
I don't know why I did that in my head.
That's a really good point though, because that's another draw for Jurassic fans to be brought over there. So that's good. That's interesting. What a time to be alive. We're on the 7th Jurassic Park movie, and Sam Neill is starring in Godzilla.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of dino media stuff like this. When you really think about it, we get Walking with Dinosaurs, Primitive War, that new dino movie. I know we spoke about it a bit before in the other pod, but we also got Death Ground, another dinosaur game coming out. It's a good year for dino media in general.
Absolutely.
But Jurassic, nothing really happening there. But as dinosaur fans in general, good year, eating good.
Tell us, Jaden, since our last podcast, we got some updates on Jurassic Park Survival. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, the Jurassic gaming news section. Dun, 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 dun.
Jaden's Jurassic gaming news. We're workshopping the name of this segment.
Yeah, but due time, comment down some good names and shit for this segment. Open to anything. So last week, I think it was legitimately a day after the podcast or something. April 12th or April 11th for the rest of the world. Jurassic Park Survival posted an update that the team at Saber Interactive and Universal Product and Experiences are about to start an exciting day of planning. Hatching up fresh ideas may take time, but trust us, it's worth the wait. Oh, it's worth it, with an egg. And it's in an office, and there's some like diagrams of looks like security camera footage. There's a survival narrative summary. There's the full breakdown that Jack did on Jurassic Outpost as well if you want more information. But yeah, Jurassic Park survival update and stuff like that. And what's interesting about this is that last April 2024, let me take a big breath. Tim Willits, the COO of Saber Games, posted a Instagram story of him in another dinosaur office with velociraptors on the walls and stuff like that in April last year. And normally at this time of the year, game companies are getting ready for their shows for Summer Games Fest in June. There's a lot of planning and prepping, and the same things are happening now, which is crazy. But just a rundown of gaming events that are happening real soon. So we actually got quite a bit. We got 3 in the next 2 months, which is pretty wild. So we have Future Game Show at Gamescom in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So they'll be showing like new game trailers and stuff like that. That's in May 2nd. And there's a lot of rumors that May 2nd is also going to be the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer. I've been seeing that date float around. So,
yeah, that
each to their own there.
That would make a little bit of sense. And the Dr. Pepper date, the May 15th, makes sense too.
Yeah.
So, anyway, go on.
Yeah, so there's that. And then obviously we got the big one. This is like the bee's knees of like the gaming events. And this is where, Jurassic Park Survival did have presence, whether they like to admit it or not. But Summer Games Fest is June 6th. Jurassic June, 10-year anniversary. Read into that as you will. But also on that same weekend is the Future Game Show Summer Showcase, which is Saturday, June 7th, which is weird because they're kind of like all under the same bridge, but they're having different events like during that same weekend. And yeah, there's going to be exclusive world premieres, exclusive trailers, game demos, and there's the same weekend as Summer Games Fest. So I'm not sure if they play inside, like it's going to be at Summer Games Fest, but yeah, June's going to be massive for game announcements and stuff like that. And it looks like, the wheels are spinning. And I'm very surprised, but I don't like with what's happening with Jurassic Park Survival. It's still in early capture stages. It's still in early development. I still think 2026, but hopefully we see Jurassic World Evolution 3 for June. I think it's an easy win, but I guess we shall see. But that is all the gaming news so far.
Yeah,
that's what's happening.
Nicely done.
Yeah. So this seems like you were saying it's in earlier stages than maybe we had previously thought before this update. The trailer came almost a year and a half ago, and looking back on it was very effective in building hype and awareness, but obviously they were not quite as far along in development as we thought. Is that a fair statement, and how do we feel about this game with all of that?
Yeah, I think I could be completely wrong about this, and I'm probably most likely am, but I'm just gonna say it just to put the thought out there. But I think the trailer for Jurassic Park Survival was just a last-ditch attempt to try and make up for the shit year for Jurassic Park 30th anniversary. Because they did nothing, and then they did that, and then all of 2024, no update, nothing. Mm-hmm. You got nothing on the game, and that's really weird. Like, to announce a game of that magnitude at one of the biggest gaming events of the year, and then not do anything or say anything for a year, and then now they've released 2 updates in a month in 2025, and they've said in one of the updates that's in early capture stages. Not confident on a 2025 release from that. Could be very wrong, but yeah, it's not looking.
Aren't we glad that
not great?
Aren't we glad that it has survived? Like that there.
Yes,
that it has made it this far. So
yes.
I feel like you were waiting so long to use that.
He was.
I mean, but genuinely though, like it. it could have been. We've had two or three of these
It was
canceled.
scary.
It could have died, and
Especially last year with the Saber buyout, like that was scary. That was like, oh shit, like that was probably the closest we were gonna get to it being cancelled with the buyout.
well, and that
and stuff like
probably
that.
that may have added a unexpected setback to their whole process, maybe. But
Yeah, true. True. That could have been a whole another deal. Especially like I know I said this in the last podcast, but Rebirth was a blindside to mostly everyone in regards to marketing with Universal and stuff like that. As well as that, like I feel like with especially in regards to Jurassic World Evolution 3, I feel like they haven't really said much on it. I thought they were gonna say stuff, maybe announce it after the actual Rebirth trailer came out, because I would imagine that they would add stuff from Rebirth into Evolution. I know Jack and I spoke about this as well, and I'm not sure if you mentioned it in the last video, but I know we spoke about it.
yeah, I know what
Especially in the chat.
I know what you're about to get at,
Yeah,
and we mentioned it in the video. But yes, go on.
Yeah. So pretty much in the video and what we spoke about is that maybe the reason why these games are delayed is because they're gonna wait to add lore from what we see in Rebirth to Jurassic Park Survival. I know no one's really a fan of that, but the way that they've emphasized the bunker from Fallen Kingdom into Jurassic Park Survival as well. Maybe they're waiting for Rebirth to come out so they can add extra lore from that, because it's the OG park now.
I agree with you, but I feel like if that were the case, if that were the hang up, if that were any sort of reason, especially as of last summer, like if that threw a big wrench into the whole cog, or into the machine, excuse me. I feel like Saber would definitely have access to story by now. They like it wouldn't necessarily have to wait until to release.
Yeah.
Like if anything, they probably had access to it, if that's the case, sometime late summer, early fall of last year, like when production started rolling.
Yeah.
Is my guess.
I
Maybe later, but wouldn't necessarily think that they'd have to start implementing the story or trying to figure out how they're going to do that with the summer. But I totally think that you're right, that might be a big reason as to, because especially since it's going back to 93. If anything, the whole premise is in 93. It might explain a lot as to Rebirth and expand on that a bit, because I would love to see some of the technology that Gareth is using, some of the designs that we're going to see in Rebirth, that I can't tell if they're modern or if they harken back to some of the pre-93 dates, but some of the designs are super interesting in terms of like kind of futuristic, kind of modern, if that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
So to incorporate that into the game would be super cool to see.
Or even like a thought of like just Dr. Maya Joshi, like, maybe she knows shit about the mutant, or like all the like, we don't know this character and what she knows either. Like they could add stuff from there into that. I know Jack wasn't a big fan of that, like waiting to add stuff from Rebirth, because it should just be about Jurassic Park, like the movie, which are like a few days after, which I totally agree. But yeah, I just find it weird how like a lot of things are just like not getting announced, and just the communication has been really lackluster until the past month.
I think
updated us.
Part of it is that, I mean, this is just the impression that I got personally, but like I feel like they're further back in the development process than we have all thought for the last year and a half, and I think that's part of it. Like I think they have more development and things to do than we realize, probably. That last line on the Instagram post about like fresh ideas take a while to hatch up, but it'll be worth it, or whatever it said, that hit me as like, fans are impatient, please be patient. Like that's kind of how I took that. I'm not a gamer, so like I don't know whether, like I don't have a stance on whether or not this should include Rebirth lore or not. I think it can stand alone and just be Jurassic Park if it really wants to. Like I don't think it has to include Rebirth lore, but I also think that like if they include little tiny bits of something Rebirth, like that could be substantive and like make it connect to the franchise and be better. Like they could do it in a way that works. I kind of hope they don't overdo it, and I don't think they will. Like, I don't think the mutant's going to show up in this game or anything.
No,
That would be wild.
I hope not. I hope not.
That would be wild. Amy, yes. But
You run up to give it a hug.
I would. I really would.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Can I pet that dog?
it's got a collar with a box that allows it to speak. So yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, just like in Congo. Just like in Congo.
Yes.
I'm wondering though, with the new ideas that they mentioned in the post, what if that could also mean like maybe perhaps Universal was not happy with the way the game was going, and that they kind of forced them to come up with new ideas for the game's story. Maybe they just weren't happy with the progress that was being made.
Don't tell me that, because when the first thing that comes in my head when you say that, it's like, oh yeah, we're not happy. We want more family-friendly vibes. Because that's all they've been doing for the past 10 years.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like if they're in motion capture stages, if they're doing motion capture for stuff, like they have chunks of the story at least, right? Probably.
I would say that the story, like, because it just depends, because games are so weird now. Like, I know Jack and I were having a conversation about this the other day as well, but like most game companies write the story before like they make the game and stuff like that. But then other companies, like, you know, it's like all like together, like it's like a mess. But like for most good games and stuff like that, they normally write out the story first. But if they're still hatching up new ideas and stuff like that, it still makes me seem like they're in writing.
Or
reshoots,
like
right?
The movies. Do they do that?
Yeah.
I would be surprised if they're still writing, but they're earlier than we thought they were. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
they had the narrative
if
summary and all that stuff there in that picture, but
yeah.
What were you gonna
Yeah,
say?
like what you said before, if that was like not a dig, but like, oh, please be patient.
Oh yeah.
I think like someone, not, and I always say this, and I always advocate for Saber, because at the end of the day, like I feel like, and from what we've seen in the past 10 years, and working with Universal, you're kind of working with one arm tied behind your back, especially when it comes to, you know, video games that we want, like a survival horror and stuff like that. They haven't really dove into that in a while. So and with the updates and stuff like that, they have to get the green light from Universal first. So I always say, don't blame Saber for like the lack of communication and stuff like that. I don't think it's their fault. I think we should only judge Saber after the game comes out to see if they made a good game or not. That's the only time.
True.
But when it comes to the communication and like all that stuff, that's all from Universal's part, and I don't think Saber deserved the backlash.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's the only thing that I try to paint across, because, you know, game industry, it's, you know, it's not a happy place. You know, a lot of jobs are being lost and stuff like that. Yeah, you just you know, look at the whole picture before you like go in and attack and stuff. But also in saying that, someone should be there, you know, read the room properly as well. Like fans, you know, we've had our hearts burnt so many times with Jurassic Park Survival being cancelled. You know what I mean? So I think they should read the room in that aspect as well, of the fan side of things. And also like the fact that, you know, the past 10 years as well, we haven't got a good game outside of the Park Builders, or a game at all outside of Park Builders. So I think, you know, everyone's in their right way of mind. It's just the way you go about it and how you express how you feel and stuff like that. Just don't be an idiot.
Yeah, I think another point to make, although it's a small point, is that they were meeting with Universal products and experiences, which suggests to me that like significant parts of this meeting were probably about like, they probably were making Universal folks aware of some narrative stuff so that they can implement it into like the marketing and social media and like the experiences and the things that are going to be tied to this game probably. So like meeting with those people specifically at Universal could mean a lot of stuff, but it means what you're saying as well. So yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what's the interesting part about the games now. It all under that experience like banner now, like that title of like Universal Resorts and Experiences and things like that. And you know, like maybe in the game, like maybe what you just said is right. Like they're adding things and screenshots. Like, first thing I thought of when Jurassic Park Survival was the river raft thing, like a scene like that in a game. I think that would be sick. And if they try to tie it up, to other things and stuff like that as well. The Jeeps as well. I know Universal love their vehicles when it comes to the Jurassic franchise. I think, all that stuff will play a part and all that jazz. But yeah, I think, I think it's time to be patient now. They are giving us communication.
Mm-hmm.
And, hopefully Jurassic World Evolution 3 is announced soon. But yeah, it's looking a bit, there's like nothing on it. Which is crazy to say that we have more news about survival than Evolution 3.
Yeah.
It's a wild thing to say in
What were you gonna say?
2025.
I couldn't care less about Evolution. Honestly.
Yeah. No,
as a fan of, I mean, as a gamer too, like I barely tapped into 2, and I get so bored with that style of game. Like, it just depends on your preference, right? Like, if you like the park builder thing, for the park builder aspect in part 1, and the JP, the Jurassic Park
expansion.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Expansion pack was really cool. And I think that's like the peak for me. But like I'm with Jack, like, where I really need that horror survival Jurassic to come, because we've wanted it for so long. But Jaden, to your point, I think like it'd be super interesting to find out if they had a certain story kind of mapped out, which Universal would have had to have okayed upon prior to the whole trailer release. And the idea around that, and at least what it was alluding to, was that this was going to be sort of like, survivor horror-esque, so kind of scary, but not maybe, I'm sure Universal, to your point, was like, you got to have some sort of aspects in it to keep it family adventure. And you're right, like they're gonna stick by whatever the current, I will say, the current branding is for Jurassic, which I would say the last Jurassic franchise, super family oriented, super targeted towards, I would say, the younger audiences more so than the first trilogy. I would also argue that Universal is going to do whatever Spielberg says the franchise is, and if Spielberg and Kep are like, we're going to go scarier because that's where we want to go with the new movie and the next trilogy, Universal is going to stick with that. And I wonder if that threw another wrench into Saber's, like last year, once the announcement came, they maybe had a story in place. Maybe Universal was like, hey, let's cut this, let's add this, let's cut this. Then Rebirth gets announced, and now all of a sudden Saber's like, wait,
Yeah.
wasn't this our plan all along, was to kind of go scare?
Yeah.
And so, now that we're going to do that, maybe now we can incorporate this. And also, to your point, they can develop and figure things out and think and realize, we can also do this. Like, we did this in our game, we accomplished this. We also have time now to maybe do this, which would be really badass, or to incorporate. So we do have to give a lot of leeway to the game, because we have no idea. They're not giving anybody any interviews, and it's we just kind of have to wait and see. But I definitely think it's going to be 2026 at the earliest.
It's going to be interesting to see, as Jaden was saying earlier, as far as the Spielberg involvement goes. Like, Jaden was talking about how great Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is, and Spielberg had a hand in that, right? So
yeah,
Sure.
yesterday I did a stream because Indiana Jones: The Great Circle is now available on PS5. #ad. But I genuinely really enjoyed it, and Steven Spielberg did have a helping hand in overseeing the story, and he had involvement in the game and stuff like that. And honestly, I will as someone that plays games a lot, the Indiana Jones game is one of the best games I've played in years. It's so good, and even if Steven, how you were saying earlier, Ryan, Steven Spielberg, I think if he has any helping hand in survival, that is a huge boost of confidence. Because the fact that he had overseeing factors in Indiana Jones, I think yeah, it's a great game. Like yeah, it's so good. It gives me goosebumps like talking about it. That's how good it is.
Well,
Like,
and Spielberg has had his hand in
you
a
know?
Jurassic game before with Trespasser. He actually
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of devised like a fun little gag with his son Max at the time, where if you like threw
Oh yeah.
a rock at a Jeep and it would fall on the Raptor, there would be like another rock that would kind of magically appear with like, I think it says something like thank us for this or something like that, and it said signed Steven Spielberg and Max Spielberg. It was kind of fun.
Oh, that's really
So,
cool.
yeah, so maybe he is involved again. That would be the second time. At least.
That'd be
Give
cool.
me like a Spielberg-esque NPC.
Oh, like a little
random,
Easter egg.
Yes.
Just as you're walking by, you're like, wait a minute. And you like walk up to it, and you do like the whole 360.
Yeah.
It's got to be
checking out its
like
head, but you're like
1992, 1993 Steven Spielberg
with the hat.
on like in the lab on Nublar or something, like he's a scientist.
Yeah, that would be cool if there's like a little photograph in like an office or something, like you're going through like the ruins or something. and it's just a
Employee
little
of the month.
photograph or something. Yeah.
So as we head towards the end of this podcast, what final Jurassic thoughts do you guys have, and what's your excitement level for Jurassic World Rebirth?
I'm stoked. I'm stoked.
Hell yeah.
I'm hyped. It still feels so weird though, you guys. Like it still feels like, wait a minute, what? We're getting
Still feels like a
like,
dream.
It's so soon.
Like they just made the announcement. It's like we don't deserve this.
Yes,
And
we-
maybe
yes,
it
we
does
do.
feel too soon. Like we know we do. But it also does like feel. I hope it's good, you guys, because if it's not, then it's gonna feel like it was forced, like it was too soon, like they're just pumping money.
Yeah, they got to nail it.
yeah.
And so but like in Gareth I trust. So
In David Kep, we trust.
And David
Yep,
Quippy.
and Kep.
Kepi.
Yep.
Kepium, baby. Kepium.
Kepium. Yeah, Kepium.
Derek, final Jurassic thoughts? Jurassic World Rebirth thoughts?
For Rebirth, yeah, I am pretty excited. I've been getting more excited the more I've seen, honestly, of like the lagoon stuff being brought to life from the book, because again, that's something I always connected with ever since I was a kid and read the book. And then later on when I saw the original storyboards from that scene that were supposed to be in the original movie, and seeing it so closely resemble it so far, is just switch out the characters basically, is still really kind of fascinating, because I never thought after Dominion I was like, oh well, I guess that's never gonna happen now, kind of thing. But then they somehow made it work in this new movie. It's just pretty exciting. So yeah, I'm still cautiously optimistic. I'm not trying to get too sold on like, oh, it's gonna be amazing. I'm like, we've been burned before, okay? So I'm kind of just apprehensive. But one last sort of askew thought I just want to say is, where's the new Lego game? Am I the only one who
Absolutely.
wants the new Lego game? Damn it.
There is a third Jurassic World game that's to be announced.
Yeah.
Could be it.
I'm hoping it's that, because it's like an easy win as well. Like, we already got survival. Okay, let that like ride out to see how they can do like with adult games, I guess, or like, more mature games if they take that route.
Yeah.
But Camp Cretaceous Chaos Theory Lego game.
Yeah,
Easy
and
money.
Fallen Kingdom and Dominion never
That'd
got
be dope.
one, so they could lump it all into one
Yeah.
part 2 game kind of thing.
Yeah.
They did that with like the
Throw
Potter games
Rebirth
and
in there
stuff.
too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to actually be
wins.
like Jurassic Dance Revolution, because guess what? Rebirth is secretly a musical.
Yeah, that's the unannounced
And that's why
Jurassic World
we-
game. Jurassic World Dance Revolution.
And that's why we don't know a composer,
That's
because it's
why-
going to be a jukebox musical movie. That's the answer. Now we know why.
With Jeff Goldblum and Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
It all makes sense.
It's gonna be a
Oh,
jazz musical with Goldblum and Johansson and everybody else.
Jurassic World.
I'm warming up to the musical idea now. Let's do it.
Yeah. Jaden, any final Jurassic thoughts?
I'm pretty confident on the movie. I've lost as a source already. Spinosaurus is back. I think this is going to be better than Dominion and Fallen Kingdom. Sorry, Caleb. I don't like disrespecting Fallen Kingdom.
No, you're
But
good.
but yeah, I'm lost in the sauce with Rebirth. I'm excited for it. Toys look insane. Spino Hammond Collection June. Excited to pay $100 for that. I'm buying like 3. It's look when you look at it from outside, like from a full picture perspective, we're kind of like we're eating good. You know, new movie Chaos Theory just dropped. Surely there's a game somewhere on the horizon this year. You know, we haven't had a good year like this in a while. I just hope they do something for the 10th anniversary for Jurassic World, because without it, we wouldn't be here in this exact situation. So they need to give it its flowers. But I'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
Well
that's a good place to leave it. Honestly, I'm really excited for Rebirth. I'm high on Kepium. Just to be honest.
Yes, let's smoke that.
God.
Smoke the Kepium.
But that's a really great way to end this podcast, Jaden. Without without Jurassic World coming back, reinvigorated the franchise and is the reason we're all here being silly and chatting on this podcast. So, all right.
Don't smoke Kepium, by the way. Do it.
Or do.
This is your brain.
But
this is your brain on Kepium.
True. Jurassic World Rebirth is your brain on Kepium. Anyway, that seems like a good spot to end it. Thank you, Jaden. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Double D, for joining this podcast. Thank you all for listening to episode 152 of the InGeneral podcast. Check out Jurassic Outpost on YouTube. We've got some interviews with the Chaos Theory casts up there and any and all Jurassic breaking news as well. And check out JurassicOutpost.com. And we will see you in 153. Goodbye.